Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Breen at Cryptic Tales of Tarot. Just want to say happy Friday or Friday, woohoo! Um, I am wondering if people understood that I had created a new channel here called Cryptic Tales of Tarot because it used to be Skulls and Bones 444, but I left a lot of comments, a lot of posts letting people know that this is the new channel, but I guess I'm gonna have to make more announcements about that so you guys could switch over. And well, this recording I have here, and these are notes on my phone, things that I downloaded, and let me tell you, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of crows. A lot of fucking crows. And like I've said, to me, it's a love-hate relationship. They're gorgeous. They're soft. But to me, they're omens for shit happening because October 6th is the full moon in Aries. So get prepared because I can feel spiritual attacks coming, especially when it comes to psychic attacks coming. And I have posted up articles about psychic attacks and what they are, how to protect yourselves, why they're being sent, etc., etc. So now I'm going to go to my reading, and it's called The Karmic Masculine and the Divine Feminine and the Authorities. Hmm. So, here we go. Oh, 222 on the timer. Pay attention to all the numbers and synchronicities. Like I said, animals, plants, names that you hear. All right. The numbers are a lot of 222, 311, 1212, 1010, 1111, 1234, like a domino effect. One, two, three, four. Okay. So, number one, dear karmic masculine, do you ever shut up? I mean, for fuck's sakes. I know that I used to talk a lot, but I learned my fucking lesson about that. You know what that means? That means that sometimes when you talk too goddamn much, it might make other people suspicious of you. Like, are they talking just to hear themselves talk? Or, flapping their gums just to, once again, maybe talk the fucking ears off of somebody? Or maybe it's to hide some information within their sentences. Like, when you listen to somebody talk in conversation, sometimes they'll try to hide little innuendos with the tone of voice and the body movements. 411 on the timer. There's information coming out, yo. You can tell a lot about somebody. If they talk a lot, what are they talking about? Body movements, eye movements, undertones, if they're using, any weird slang and shit. So, there you go. So, and also, I mean, all the rumors that you came up with and shit, not even the original coven members believe you anymore. I mean, they dropped out. And that says a lot for someone who used to be so popular for their good deeds, telling people how bad of a person the divine feminine is and creating a false narrative to make her look like shit so that everybody would stop hanging around her so they would be safe because she was a dark witch. But yet, it's just the opposite. So make it make sense. And in the beginning, huh, I know that this coven, which I called the Death Magic Mafia Project, because there was always somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and it started off with like 150 to 200 people, 555 on the timer, but now I think it's down to like either 15 to 20 or maybe 30 to 50. That's a big ass drop from what it used to be. And so now you're scared shitless because you know that you're in trouble with the law. And that's because they found out that you're a professional criminal. But more importantly, it's because you talk too fucking much. Number two, I know that the cops are investigating the coven, or they will be very shortly. If the coven is currently being investigated, then of course it's the karmic masculine or other people, but mainly the karmic masculine, who is going to try to lie or manipulate the cops about the story of what's really been going on behind the scenes. All I can say to that is good luck, because I sense that these cops are experts at what they do and can automatically tell when someone is lying to hide the truth about a situation. And I got a download that one of the police officers, a male figure, who's been investigating this coven, has about 20 years of experience in solving murder cases. In fact, I think that one of his specialties is in finding the DNA needed for forensic investigators to solve crimes, especially murder cases, and finding the person who did it. I'm saying this because I feel like there have been a lot of people who have been murdered recently for blood sacrifices, especially when it comes to children. 808 on the timer. And somebody here worships Baal, Baal, Baal. And so some people could have been killed and been sacrificed to that deity as well. When it comes to the children, that's utterly disgusting. That you are willing to go that fucking far. That's disgusting. Number three, the cops defending the divine feminine. I think the cops have been privately investigating the divine feminine using undercover cop cars and following her around town and checking on her whereabouts because the karmic masculine kept going to his local sheriff's department. And these visits were so often that the police got annoyed with his obnoxious behavior. And because of that, the police started having their suspicions about the karmic masculine and whether or not he had any ulterior motives towards the divine feminine, because he was constantly complaining about how she was harassing, threatening, following him, and that he was so scared that he wanted to get a restraining order against her. But the police were skeptical about these complaints, and so they denied him the restraining order. Well, having said that, the karmic masculine decided to work with a friend who is a tech genius and knows how to create fake emails and text messages that are harmful and threatening in nature and then sends them to people, thus making them paranoid and fearing for their lives. And sure enough, this friend hacked into, computers and emails and has a lot of information on the divine feminine, all kinds of information that they can use against you whenever they want or need to. So, this person used these resources to his advantage and made false emails and text messages to send to the karmic, okay, so that he could use those emails and text messages as proof to the cops that the divine feminine was harassing him. 11:11 on the timer. When I said that, I can't make that shit up. Yeah, so every time when he wanted to complain, here's proof, here's proof, here's proof, and here's the thing. As I mentioned earlier, these cops aren't stupid, and they've been working in law enforcement for years, way before the karmic masculine was even a thought. Therefore, they could tell that the math wasn't mathing when it came to the karmic masculine's proof, you know, of the messages and emails. Because out of all the cases that they've seen like this, oh, let me tell you, what the fuck? Yeah, out of all the cases that they've seen like this, they knew that he wanted that restraining order for other personal reasons, whether it be to accidentally cross paths with the divine feminine, just so he could call the cops and have her arrested immediately, or maybe it was for premeditated harm, to which he could claim that it was in self defense. So essentially, this restraining order would be used to save his ass and still maintain a clean image after doing something diabolical to her. And with that being said, the police actually wanted to put a restraining order against him and then send you a personal letter informing you about the whole ordeal because they just knew that the karmic masculine was up to something and it wasn't good. 1313 on the timer. And finally, the whole point of the karmic masculine getting a restraining order against you was so that he could strategize a way to run into you somewhere, and stalk you and find, and at just the right time, sit somewhere around you or whatever, be very close in the vicinity, and then call the cops. Okay? And then you would be arrested like that. And once you go to jail and shit, it would completely ruin your life to the utmost extreme. That's what that's about, folks. Constantly strategizing. 1414 on the timer. Constantly strategizing. But my dearest divine feminines and everybody in the collective, everybody in the collective, you can't skip a beat. You can't skip a fucking beat. You gotta use your intuition and your logic. And this is scary to say, but you have to think like a sociopath. because that's exactly what this karmic masculine is. He is a sociopath. You have, I mean, this has not only has this been spiritual warfare, this has been psychological warfare too. Because this fucker just loves to play with the mind with people. 15:15 on the timer. I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. And like I said, happy Friday, and I bought me a witch hat, which I can use in the next video. Love y'all. Mwah.